Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Florida Buzz YouTube channel. Today I just wanted to talk about a new purchase I made. It's been on my list for a while. Honestly, I was kind of up in the air about it, mainly just because I've seen, like this isn't some mind-blowing video that no one's ever done. This has been done quite a few times, even on YouTube, so it's nothing original. But it's something I gave a lot of thought into up until I actually did a starter on an Audi last week. I didn't even really give it some thought about buying it just because of honestly how fragile the design is. So here's the ratchet. It's the Snap-on thllf72. Obviously it's the super long comfort grip 1/4" ratchet. So now there's two things you need to do to these ratchets to complete this kit. The first thing you have to do is replace the head, or swap the head, however you want to do it. So my Snap-on guy was cool enough, so on the truck I already told him what my plans were for this ratchet. I had already had the kit on standby because I knew at some point I was going to do this. I just wasn't sure when. Like I said, I had an Audi starter that was a nightmare to get done, and the whole time I was using my 8" 1/4" converted 3/8, and I was putting like a cheater bar on it because I just couldn't get my hand on the grip, because it was, the grip on the 8" is like here, and it was way up in the engine bay, and it just drove me nuts. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, if you had bought in that 12" 1/4" thllf72 and converted it, you wouldn't be having this problem. So I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. This ratchet didn't come in green. It actually came with a red handle. My Snap-on guy gave me another ratchet to bring home, which I showed you guys in my other video, and I swapped this one. Luckily, it was a good time to do another one because, again, my other video got corrupted. So the only thing I really explained in the other video on the 1/2" comfort grip was basically just, how to go about it rather than actually showing you guys. And again, these grips are super easy to replace. Super easy process, definitely by far the easiest out of all the comfort grips to replace. So anyways, moving on, I have my my Snap-on thllf80A here with me for comparison. This is the 13 1/4" ratchet, I believe. This is my daily driver, basically my daily mule, however you want to call it. This ratchet has some miles on it. It's actually my oldest ratchet. The only reason why it looks good is because I just replaced the grip a couple weeks back, because I had one laying around. But anyways, again guys, this is my go-to favorite ratchet. I mean, it's so worn in that I can literally tap it and the head just flops around. And mind you, this bolt is about as tight as you can get it without the head of the torch stripping out. And I know a lot of guys are probably going to say, oh, you can just replace the tension spring in there and it'll fix that. No, there's a brand new tension spring in there and it's still floppy as hell. So eventually I'm probably just gonna have to warranty this thing out. But honestly, at times, like I said, other than when I have like a really long, heavy socket on it, I actually kind of like how floppy it is, because all my other ratchets, like this ratchet for instance, it's brand new. The head's kind of super tight. This one's, I guess, a little looser for what it is, but normally they're pretty stiff and you gotta break them in. So, I kind of don't really want to go through the process of breaking in another 3/8 ratchet, because it takes a while. So anyways, moving on. This kit's super easy to do. Again, you just have to swap the head out, and then you're just gonna go ahead and put the, I believe it's called I'm trying to remember the exact part number, but Snap-on has a factory kit. It's a chrome-handled ratchet, 6.5 inches long, so it's about that big, and it comes already pre-installed with the 3/8 kit and faceplate. That's actually where all these guys are getting these parts from. The faceplate number is FC72-2. I remember that. I don't remember the parts kit off the top of my head, but again, it's a pretty well-known kit. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's gonna drive me crazy. I believe it's it might be a TF72 or something along those lines. I know ferret, because the F stands for ferret. I know the F is in the part number. I believe it's TF72 is what it is. And again, they have a fixed version that's just like the T72 but in 3/8, and then they have the flex head version, which is what I have, and it's a flex head 6.5 inch, so it's a little bit bigger. So anyways, moving on, I do really like this ratchet. I think it's a really nice backup go-to to keep in your box for whenever, you run into that situation where this ratchet just won't fit and you're going to need something like this because you're, shorter 8¼ inch ratchets like the thllf72 that's 8.5 inches long. It's just not long enough. The only downside to this ratchet though, again, guys, is even with a 1/4 inch head in it, there's a lot of flex on this ratchet. They normally have the high strength head and that helps out. But again, with the high strength head, you can't do this. I have another one of these that's in 1/4 inch and I left the head alone and I use it all the time. But again, after about 50 foot-pounds, guys, these ratchets really start to bow out. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a dozen of them out there that are bent going over 60, 70 foot-pounds where the head just didn't give away, because I've seen videos where guys, basically torture test these till their limit, and I believe these break at about 80 foot-pounds. But I promise you, well before 80 foot-pounds, these ratchets right here in the stem start to bend. So like I said, this isn't going to be my go-to, for breaking loose strut towers and everything else. Again, it's kind of just one of those oddball ratchets that when you need it, it's there. It'll save you time. You'll make money on the job versus sitting there, tearing through your box trying to figure out what you can combine together to make a smaller ratchet work and then grabbing a cheater pipe. Because essentially that's what I ended up having to do, and it just really sucked. It was a complete waste of time. So anyways, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put a 3/8 snap-on extension on there. And yeah, so I just put the factory lube kit in there that comes, I believe it's called Super Lube. It comes with the conversion kit. And I must admit, guys, this ratchet is like butter. Like I said, it's not the strongest ratchet, but one thing I will give the 1/4 inch models versus the 3/8 is they are just so much smoother. There's a lot more slop because they don't have the W spring that locks them down. See, when you open these up, right above the paw, or I'm sorry, it's right below the paw and right below where the actual gear ring itself that the anvil is attached to, there's a W spring, and that's what really gives this ratchet all that strength and keeps it stiff. So again, it's a really cool concept. It's a really cool design. A lot of guys have done this. This was the last one to complete my collection of them, because again, I have the so basically they have the 3-piece set available now. So it's this 12¼ inch. They have the 8¼ inch, and then the super tiny. I believe it's called the TF72. I think that's what it is, but it's real small. It's like this big. It's a flex head. They also make it in a fixed head, and it's about that big. But I have the flex head one 'cause it's a little bit longer. I like the feel of it. I can get just about 2 fingers plus my index finger on the ratchet. So when you have a bolt that's too tight for your fingers, but not loose enough to where you really need like a full size ratchet, that thing just comes in handy to just kind of ratchet something out of there real quick. So anyways, I have that 3-piece set in 1/4 inch, and then I had it would be a thll72, which is the 8-inch variant of this one, I believe. I have that one that I've converted for about a year now. Love that thing. I have the other one that we were just talking about, the real small one that's a flex head. I have one of those converted to 3/8. Love that one as well. This was just the last one to complete having basically a dual set, having it in 1/4 inch because my sockets in 1/4 inch only go up to 15 millimeter, and then now having this guy that I can go up to if need be. I think my biggest 3/8 socket is a 24 millimeter, which is kind of overkill, but I can actually accomplish that now. And plus, when it comes to like triple squares and hex sockets and stuff like that, 90% of my triple squares, hexes, standard and metric, let's keep this going, my Torx, trying to think what else I have. There's just so much stuff that, traditionally only comes in 3/8, and that's where something like this really comes in handy, because you have the compact design, but to where you don't have to use a giant ratchet like this, but you also have the size capability of the shrunk down ratchet. But again, guys, you can't really push these things that far. They're only rated for about 80 foot-pounds, and even then, you don't want to push a ratchet to its failure point, on a daily basis. So again, this isn't going to be something I'm using every day. I'll probably use this once a month, maybe once every couple months, just to get a job done in a really tight area, like an Audi starter if I have to do another one. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I just wanted to share that with you. Again, I love the ratchet. I've used it a couple times. My Snap-on guy comes on Wednesday, so I had about 2 days to use this thing during the week before the weekend because I have weekends off. And it's a really nice setup. I did a couple oil changes with it, you know, breaking loose drain plug bolts that were like 17 and 19 millimeter. Just light duty stuff because, again, I'm not going to be pushing this ratchet any further than that. I know what it is, I know what it's capable of, and I don't want to be going to my Snap-on guy every other week rebuilding it because I, you know, abuse the hell out of it. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy.